Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, I'm Mr. Muhammad Khalid, and today we are going to have a discussion about week 9, lesson 17 and 18. As you know that, like previous couple of sessions, we are covering the concepts of economy of Pakistan. You understand this, as I expressed at the very inception, that economy is not simply a one concept, or it is not a one element. Clear? There are so many shapes and layers that collaboratively constitute the economy. Out of the salient features is trade. We'll discuss our objectives, trade types, import and exports, significance of the services sector in the economy of Pakistan, labor and taxation, transportation and telecommunication, IT and software industry. Dear students, trade mean, in common words, exchange of goods, selling and purchasing of goods and materials is called trade. In broader spectrum, to produce things and to sell out them in the local markets, that is called country trade within the country, internal trade. When a country produces goods and exports it, sends it, shares it with the other countries, it is called export. Fine. Similarly, a country at the same time requires many other things which are not produced in their very country, and they import those things. So this is the simplest form, that whatever the things, goods, material, equipment our country is producing, we have the expert and we have planted here the factories and mills. Fine. And then we sell it out in the international market, and in return we get money. Fine. This is called export. Well, at the same time, a country is not omnipotent or self-sufficient in everything. Clear? They need many things which are not produced in the country, and they demand it from the other countries. Fine. So likewise, they import things from the others. Import means take in to their ports or into their country. In this case, country has to pay to the other nations for this trade. Well, in this very concept, the import and export, these become two major features to judge the economy of a country. That if a country is sound enough and they are producing and they are selling out their things to the other nations, fine, and in return they get a huge income as exchequer. Clear? They are called rich countries, stable countries. And if a country is not producing himself anything, fine, and they have to purchase those things from the other nations, they will have to pay a huge money fine. In this equation, a country gets weaker, okay, and a country gets stronger who exports and less imports, fine. This is a landmark or a symptom or a signal set by the international organizations to judge the progress and prosperity of one country. Well, to analyze that how far a country has got excellence and stability in trade and commerce, we have to view lots of factors in their variation. A country cannot produce things unless they themselves have not attained the production quality. They must have the resources, factories and mills, trained workers, excellent managerial skills, plus the financial assistance, strong finance, plus wonderful marketing skills, clear, well decided markets. Then a country finally makes money, fine. And in this very trade and commerce, getting to the market and market competency is a major issue of the time, clear. And the international conflicts, mostly especially for China and Americans at this point, or Pakistan's competition with India and Bangladesh, actually is the competition of gaining markets, clear, because being agriculturalist lands, they are the producers, and the competition is more in this area between these three main producers. Well, coming down from the abstract point of views, we have to analyze the nature of the Pakistani economy. Okay, number one, that Pakistani economy is based on agriculture. Number two, we are a little bit producers of manufacturers of certain goods, clear. Services in the country and outside in form of remittances is the source of bread and butter for Pakistan, along with many other things. Let's read this and then we will explain this. Trade has grown into one of the major sectors of Pakistani economy and employs a significant proportion of the workforce. Although there has been a trend towards increasing exports, the country has led a chronic annual trade deficit, with the imports often outstripping exports. Over the years, important changes have been taking place in the composition of the foreign trade. In particular, while the proportion of the total exports from primary commodities, including raw cotton, has fallen, the share of the manufacturers have greatly increased, but the bulk of manufactured products coming into the export trade consist of cotton goods, so that Pakistan remains as dependent as ever on its leading cash crop. The other manufactured exports come mostly from industries based on agriculture, such as leather and the leather goods, and carpets, export of rice and petroleum, petroleum products are also important. The shift towards manufactured agriculture export, which have a higher added value content than the primary commodities, has been encouraged by the government. The trade deficit and the shortage of the foreign exchange have made it necessary for the governments to restrict imports and to provide financial incentives to promote export trade. Major imports consist of machinery, chemicals, and products, crude oil, refined petroleum, food and edible oils, and motor vehicles. Pakistan's most important trading partners are United States, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and China. He, in this paragraph, it is clear that the Pakistani economy is not fully free and independent. They are all dependent. Fine. Mainly Pakistan would produce the cotton products, some of the agriculture products. Within the cotton, we produce clothes and other things. Then sports, livestock, fine. But unfortunately, there are certain factors that have reduced that in the international market. Pakistan is not able to compete because the production made here is so expensive that the prices in the international markets are higher, and whereas the other countries like Bangladesh, India, and China, they have facilitated their producers in inland, and they have provided them energy, and they are producing. Likewise, they produce their goods at low rate. This is how their मार्केट कॉम्पिटेंसी, मतलब यह है कि इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में उनकी जो चीज़ की प्राइस है वो कम है, जबकि पाकिस्तानी चीज़ की प्राइस जो है वो ज़्यादा है. तो दिस इज़ हाउ द गुड इज़ नॉट that product is not purchased in Pakistan, and this is how Pakistani goods are not purchased, and this is how the trade deficit increases. And other bigger issues, as you have seen, that look at this, the trade partners of Pakistan: United States, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and China. In the modern world, the trade is used as a tool to control the internal politics of the country. Since Pakistan is allied to the United Nations, the United States, and more closer to the Western countries, but owing to some regional conflicts, these countries, even including Saudi Arabia, even in the present times, have forced Pakistan to accept some compromising things, especially on the integrity and relationship with India and Afghanistan, which were not in favor of Pakistan. And how they were able, because United States is a huge partner, so they often apply trade sanctions. They intimidate Pakistan to applying trade sanctions, as the sanctions were applied to the American. Similarly, Saudi Arabia entertains huge number of Pakistanis plus Pakistani products, so Pakistan is fully dependent. Thereby, they force Pakistan sometimes to accept things. But more important, no country is fully free. Thereby, in the foreign policy and others, trade policies are designed, and the countries are favored to, are chiseled, and policies are favored to make these people happy, so that the country may not suffer the trade deficit and the unemployment be short mean controlled. Look at the major import sources uh, in 2016 and 14 year. China, fine, 28 28%, 28.6%. UAE 14%, US 4.8, Indonesia 4.3, Saudi Arabia 4.1, and Japan 3.9, whereas the other miscellaneous countries have the collectively make 14.3% of the trade. Export, they are the major import sources, that these countries import the things to Pakistan. Exports, major Pakistani exports, US is the leading with 16.9%, UK with 7.6%, China with 7.2%, Afghanistan with 6.2%, Spain with 4%, and other countries are 52.3%. Actually, at the international market, the political economy plays a major role in the real economy, because US and India are now the allies, and they have opened the markets to India, whereas China used to be a great counter business partner of India, but since they have in conflict on Ladakh and other areas, China has offered Bangladesh with the 0% duty and export the things. Now, this is what that every country on the political reasons give relaxations. Fine. Likewise, Pakistan takes relaxation from the many countries. Okay. Here it is. I think so that it is enough. Then after this, we will see that how Pakistani import and exports may further be increased. Thank you.